All right, welcome back to Chris Veve journey. So here you can even see me. Yeah, as you might already noticed, this is a little bit different. I have a different setup today. So this is just me recording with my tablet and with my earbuds. So hopefully sound is okay. These earbuds, sometimes they have a great sound when I record these videos, sometimes they don't. Usually I don't do this on my English channel, that I keep updating you with drop details, but I did a pretty lengthy video in German. I dug out some infos about this Star Wars comic drop. It's still a few hours ahead until the drop starts, so I thought, okay, I kick this out. I let you guys know because I was watching the videos from some other YouTubers, and yeah, none of them seem to have all these infos. Maybe I just watched the wrong ones. Maybe they didn't care about what I want to show you. So whatever, here we are. Let's talk about Star Wars Digital Comic Drop #1 on Vivi. So as you can see here, here's the regular Vivi article with all the info. So let's talk about the book itself first, right? So this is Star Wars 1 from 1977. So that was a series. The first 6 issues were actually the story from A New Hope, the first Star Wars movie that was in the cinemas, episode 4. So after that, it went into a different direction. So the stories continued, but that's not considered canon by now. So, but the first 6 issues, that was definitely the movie. And they did it even while the movie was still being made. So they didn't look at the finished movie and created this comic book. It was done at the same time. So that's pretty interesting. So about this book, the first issue, it has the first appearance of Darth Vader, the first appearance of Luke Skywalker, first appearance of Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, Grand Moff Tarkin, Beru and Oren Lars, and it does introduce the Stormtroopers. We have the first cover appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Han Solo, but they're only on the cover. They are not in the actual story. So, it's a book from 1977. The writer is Roy Thomas and the artist is Howard Chaykin. This is pretty interesting because we have a lot of variants here. They were all done by Howard Chaykin. So that is interesting to know. So yes, let's keep continue. So let's look at the drop details, won't we? So list price 15 gems. So that is more than double what we usually pay for a comic book, which is pretty interesting. So either they're just trying to get to use the hype to generate more income, which is fine by me. They're a company, of course, they want to do that, and I guess it's worth it in this case. I just hope they don't keep continuing this price on other comic books. I don't think they will at all, but I also think it wouldn't be worth it. We have total editions 44,219. So that's a weird edition size, but I can tell you why. There's a what's it called? A method to the madness. That's what I wanted to say, right? So we have 44,000 editions. That's 14,000 editions more than regular comic books, which is fine because Star Wars is big. A lot of people will go there. We will have all the Star Wars fans trying to get it for it. And we will have the flippers trying to get it because they think Star Wars fans are crazy enough to buy it for crazy amounts of money, right? So the common is the main cover. It has 19,771 editions. So that's easy one. That's 1977 with the 1 because it's the first book. Then we have the uncommon. That's the theatrical poster variant, 14,544 editions. That's actually George Lucas' birthday, 14th May 1944. Then we have the rare black and white variants. That's 5,422 variants. That's, of course, it's Star Wars Day, May 5th, 2022. So that's today. Then we have the ultra rare, the special edition variant. That's 2,505 editions. That has to be a nod to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that is starting on May 25th. And then we have the secret rare special edition back cover variant for 1977 editions, of course, because of 1977. So if you get the last one of each of these comic books, that's pretty much the best. But I just realized that doesn't work this way in comics, right? The comics, they have all they combine the edition numbers across all the rarities. So it's not like you have the special edition back cover variants 1977 individual pieces. You could also get a secret rare with the number 44,110. So yeah, that was something I didn't think about, but it's a great knot, right? So every edition number here has some sense. So it's pretty cool, right? So let's look at the individual pieces. So there's the regular comic, right? The 30-cent regular comic. Why do I say 30 cent? I will get to that later. So the 30-cent regular Star Wars comic number 1 cover. So there were different variants to this, but not different pictures. So all the variants actually look like this. They all only differ in layout, and mostly because another company did some reprints. And it's just small stuff. So that is great. This is the regular comic cover. So this thing is priced, if you get a 9.8, there's pretty much a lot of 9.8s in the market. So let me check for the 9.8. I got a lot of screenshots here at my disposal to keep you informed. So on the CGC census, we have 818 9.8s. We have 2,176 9.6s. And we have 2,263 9.4s on the CGC census alone. So then there's also CBCS and other grading companies. So there is a lot of high grades of this comic book. That's why it's not very, that's why it doesn't cost much, right? So that's a book you can get for around $1,000 in the 9.8. That's because there is a lot of supply, but there's also a lot of demand. That's because, that's why it's cost around $1,000. So, and if you compare the 9.4s, 9.6 and 9.8s combined, that's more than 5,000 pieces. So if you think about it, then it's still pretty expensive as a book. So that's for the common cover, right? That's the info for the common cover. So then we have the uncommon, which is the theatrical poster art. So that is a poster, most people will have seen it at one point in life, at least. You can still buy these posters. And funny enough, you can actually see these posters being hunted. Like if you have the original one from 1977, the theatrical posters that were given out, and if you have these in good condition, I have seen those sell for more than $2,500. So even that is like a collectible people like to obtain. To get the original one, I mean, there's massive reprints of this thing. If you want to have it, it's not hard to get. But if you want the original one from 1977, that's a $2,500 piece if you get it in good quality. So let's look at the rare. So the rare is the original art of the cover, of the original cover. So that's, like I said, Howard Shakin did this original art. So this is owned. This is owned by a private collector. And why do I say it like this? Why do I say it is owned by a private collector? This is because that is not a black and white variant that we are accustomed to. That is not the cover just made in black and white. This is the actual original art. Like this is the piece of paper this book was actually painted on. This image was painted on. So this is not just a cover that was turned black and white or just a line art. This is the exact piece of paper with the exact cover that was then scanned, that was then colorized and put to print. You can see it very much on the ultra rare. So you can see the differences in color here, that most of it is already yellow and you can see in the blacks, you can still see the streaks from the brushes, and there's differences in the white with the yellow. Some is white because they used white out to change some stuff. And those are most likely from a book called Star Wars Art Comics that was released in 2011. And I think that is around the time when that private person attained also the original art of the page. So shout out to Parker Blogs here that did this great blog about this book so many years ago. And as you can see here, they scanned in the original pages to display them in this book. And I personally totally love this. I love to see great scans of original art. I do collect books that have original art scanned and reproduced. Most of the times these are even an oversize, so that you have the actual comic book size that is twice as big as the comic books themselves. And I totally love to see the color difference, that you can see how the book was worked on. That is awesome to me. And so it's really, really awesome to see this here on Veve. In general, you could make the case that we have some exclusive variants that show the pencil art that quite look like it is the original art, but it doesn't actually feel like that. These pieces here, they really feel like original art. You can see it in the colors, in the way it is displayed. It doesn't show the corners of the page, so there's obviously some border around it to make it more visually pleasing, I would say. And this is why I also think these will look awesome in the vault. As soon as we can get comics in the vault, this will look super epic. I actually think with 15 gems, maybe this is even the first comic that we can actually display in the vault. That would be so awesome. It would be so great if these have a collectible function to them, so that we can at least load them into our vault. And then these borders make so much more sense. That would be super awesome. So like, as you can see, I'm super hyped about it. I'm super hyped about the fact that we have these original art pages. I mean, this is the first comic book of Star Wars on Veve. That's the first issue of Star Wars comics ever. It is the first time we see really original art displayed like this. Maybe they were just lazy. Maybe they just used the scans and didn't care for cleaning it up to make a real black and white version. But for me personally, as someone who collects this stuff, this is super great. This is so awesome to see the original art. So let's stay on course here. So that is the original art of the special edition. So the special edition was a book that came out a little bit later, and just really a little bit later, just that collected the first 3 issues. And it was also an oversized book, which was almost the original comic book size. It just had top and bottom a little bit cut off, so some panels were cut by a little bit. And this is the cover that was made for it. That is the front cover, and the secret rare is the back cover of that book. So that book, I didn't see any prizes for that, how much that is going for. I don't believe it will be super valuable. Also hard to grade because of the size. I don't know if those were ever graded at all. I didn't check for that. So, but as you can see, that is always design of how it's shaken, and it always looks great. It's so well done. I mean, you can see they spray painted white on the black background. So great, like so great. Here you even have the Wookiee Chewbacca on it, on the cover, C3PO on the cover. So that is awesome covers. Like, this book has only great covers. Only great covers this time, only awesomeness. That is so great. What we don't have, and that is an interesting thing a lot of people overlooked, there is an actual 35-cent variant of this book. So if you look at the original cover, in the upper left corner, it says 30 cent. There was also a 35-cent edition, but that was super limited. So numbers are not clear on that one. It has to be something roughly beneath 1,000 to a maximum of 1,500 pieces that were even created. So maybe they created like 1,500 pieces and only less than 1,000 still exist. That is a possibility, but that makes it super valuable. And the last sell I have seen for one of those, that was a 9.4 sale. So not a 9.8, not a 9.6, it was a 9.4. And that sold for more than $40,000. So here's the thing, right? If we wouldn't have this one, I think the regular one would be more valuable. But since there is an even scarcer version that looks exactly the same with just the difference that the 30 was replaced with 35, makes it so much more valuable. Collectors want to have something that is scarce, and this is the most scarcest version. So that's interesting. Now the thing is, it was sold for 40,000 in September 11th, 2021. But that was the 9.4 edition. There are two 9.6s on the census. There are no 9.8s, but there are two 9.6s and there are 15 9.4s. So the 9.6, if one of those two hit the market, in the current climate in the comic market, I wouldn't be surprised to see something around $100,000. So I don't know if that is a realistic thing, but I'm pretty sure 60 to 80,000 is a safe bet. But I also think 100,000, we're not far away from that. I think it's possible on this book in the 35-cent variant. Now, why do I talk about it so much? We don't have the 35-cent variant. That is true. But when we say the 35-cent variant has something around less than 1,000 to maybe 1,500 editions, then we have some kind of thing to compare to the Secret Rare that has 1,977 editions. So that's roughly 25% more than what we have here. Maybe it's 50% more. Like I said, hard to pinpoint the number on these very rare comic books. But if we have those, and then we say, okay, not even the highest grade was still selling for 40K, then I guess we have something we can compare to. Not saying this has to hit 40K. That would be awesome for anyone who holds it. But of course, that's for a book with only 15 editions, because that's the highest grade. That's why it has 15 editions. It's always a little bit hard to compare these numbers. But me personally, if I was to get the Secret Rare, I wouldn't sell under 5K. I would literally not sell it for less than 5K, because I think that is a realistic number. Even though it has way more editions than all the other Secret Rares. But this is high demand on a book that has, in a similar rarity, extreme prices. So 5,000 gems, I don't know if that is, maybe that is crazy. I can't tell you, I can't give you any price predictions. I don't do that. I don't think it is easy to do. The market will have to decide. I do think it will take its time. It will definitely take its time for these things to sell out well. I think maybe the common one, I can see the common one going pretty good in the first minutes or even in the first few hours. But I also think it will in time decline a little bit. I think the uncommon will work very well in the near future. Like from today, next weeks, months, I guess it will do great numbers. And the rare, ultra rare, and secret rare, I think these will need some time in the market. These are really long-term holds, and with long terms, I mean, I don't know, 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 4 years, until we have people that are really interested in this stuff. But then I think they have the possibility to reach high numbers. That's just what I'm expecting. I don't know. I could be totally wrong here, but that is just what I thought. So did I tell you everything that I know? Did I do that? I think I did, right? Yeah, I guess I did. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that was way shorter than my German video. This was done pretty much on the fly. Like you can see, it's just not my regular setup. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, maybe leave even a subscribe if you haven't, because yeah, since I'm not doing daily videos, the algorithm doesn't like me that much. Told you that before. So if you're participating in a drop, I wish you the best of luck. If you watch this video afterwards and you got something great, good for you. Like I said, I wouldn't sell in the current climate. I don't know. Maybe I would sell, I guess, the common one. I'm inclined to say I might sell the common one because the it is kind of a hot phase. Like there's a little bit of hype there. But the other ones, I'm not so sure. Common, uncommon, I may be able to sell if I get multiple ones. Like I would need to be super lucky to get multiple ones at all. But rare, ultra rare, and secret rare, I will definitely hold those. I think there is a lot to come on those fronts. And yeah, like I said, would be super awesome if these would become 3D collectibles in the vault. They just look awesome. They would be so great as pictures on the wall. I don't know, super dope. So good luck everyone. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.